The top 10 most wanted robbers in United States. Robbery is an extremely serious crime. In fact, it's considered violent by nature. It involves the taking of property by force or threat of force. The thing about robbery is that it's not just some random act that happens. It's a planned activity. That means the perpetrator has time to think about their actions and therefore knows right from wrong. They choose to do it anyway. This makes them very dangerous people who can be very elusive when they try to run from the cops. Many of them become master manipulators and will do whatever it takes to stay out of prison. They plan ahead, considering things like how to get away with the loot, how to evade the police, and how to get more money if they're already rich. Some of these individuals are so cunning that we still don't know what they look like. And for others, we don't even know their real names. But despite their efforts, the FBI is hot on their trail and won't rest until they're behind bars where they belong. From ruthless criminals who have evaded the authorities for years to those who are wanted for particularly brutal crimes, these individuals are among the most sought-after fugitives in the country. So let's take a closer look at the top 10 most wanted robbers in the United States. And just wait until you see who number one is. You probably haven't heard his name since 1984, but he's made headlines recently due to a new development in his case. You definitely don't want to miss this one. No. 10. Marcus Miranda. At number 10, we have Marcus Miranda, also known as Smiley or Marcellus. He's wanted by the U.S. Marshals Service for bank robbery and is currently in the 15 most wanted list. On August 2016, Miranda robbed a Wells Fargo bank in Houston, Texas. He was identified through fingerprints left on the bag that contained the dye pack he had stolen. He was captured on surveillance footage wearing a black hoodie, black pants, and white tennis shoes. According to the FBI, he may have access to firearms and should be considered armed and dangerous. If you see him, do not approach him, but contact the nearest law enforcement agency immediately. Number 9. Donald Eugene Webb. Donald Eugene Webb is number 9 on our list. Webb is wanted for the 1980 murder of a Pennsylvania state trooper during a traffic stop. A manhunt involving thousands of officers from several agencies lasted for weeks after the shooting, but Webb was never found. The case went cold until 2020 when the FBI announced that new evidence had been discovered. A reward of up to $100,000 is being offered for information leading to Webb's capture. He's described as armed and dangerous and should not be approached. Webb is believed to be living in Florida and may be using the alias George Lowe. He has several aliases and has been known to change his appearance drastically, including shaving his head, bald, or growing a full beard. So he may not even look the same as the person in the picture anymore. Number 8. Yusuf Islam McGill. Yusuf Islam McGill is next on our list at number 8. He is wanted by the FBI for bank robbery and has been featured on America is Most Wanted. On October 24, 2013, he robbed the Bank of America in Charlotte, North Carolina. McGill threatened a teller that he had a bomb and demanded money. Number 7. Lester Eubanks. Lester Eubanks is number 7 on our list. He escaped from a state prison in Ohio on September 19, 1993. While serving a 20-year sentence for aggravated burglary, Eubanks had been scheduled to be released in 2007. However, he never made it out alive. He became one of the few prisoners to escape from a maximum security facility without violence. The FBI believes that Eubanks may be living in California and is known to frequent the Los Angeles area. He should not be approached, but if you see him, call 911 immediately. Number 6. Michael Swango. Dr. Michael Swango is next on our list. He's a former physician convicted of murdering 7 patients by injecting them with lethal doses of potassium. He was also convicted of attempted murder for trying to kill 11 other patients. Swango's crimes came to light in 1983 when a toxicology report revealed that several of his patients had died from massive potassium injections. Despite the overwhelming evidence against him, Swango has always maintained his innocence. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, but he escaped in 1994. Swango is believed to be living in Africa under a false identity and is wanted for murder, attempted murder, fraud, illegal entry into the United States, passport fraud, and mail fraud. Number 5. Eric Rudolph. Eric Rudolph is number 5 on our list. In January 1998, Rudolph detonated a nail-studded pipe bomb at an abortion clinic in Atlanta, killing 2 and injuring 22 others. The motive behind the attack was anti-abortion. Over the next 2 years, Rudolph carried out 3 more attacks in Atlanta, bombing an entertainment district and an Olympics venue, and injuring more than 100 people. He was eventually caught and pleaded guilty to all charges except one. He was sentenced to life in prison plus 150 years. Rudolph maintains that he acted alone, but many believe there was at least one accomplice. As recently as 2020, the FBI has been looking for Rudolph's accomplice, offering a $50,000 reward for any information leading to their capture. Number 4. Ladarius James. Ladarius James is number 4 on our list. He was convicted in 2008 for robbing 6 banks in Maryland and Virginia and sentenced to 30 years in prison. However, James escaped while awaiting transfer to a federal prison in North Carolina. According to the FBI, James should be considered armed and dangerous and may be in possession of a 9mm handgun and a shotgun. At the time of his escape, James was wearing a blue shirt, blue jeans, and white sneakers. He has several tattoos on his chest and back, including a pair of dice on his chest and the name Latoya on his back. If you see him, do not approach him, but contact the FBI immediately. Number 3. Robert William Fisher. Robert William Fisher is number 3 on our list. In 2001, he murdered his ex-wife and her 2 children before blowing up his own house. Fisher was convicted of capital murder and arson and sentenced to death. However, he escaped while awaiting execution in 2003. A massive manhunt ensued, but Fisher was never found. The FBI believes that Fisher may be living in the western United States and should be considered armed and dangerous. He has a degree in mechanical engineering and is an expert marksman. Fisher is also a survivalist and outdoorsman and is likely living off the grid. If you see him, do not approach him, but contact the FBI immediately. Number 2. Joseph Christopher Duncan. Joseph Christopher Duncan is number 2 on our list. In 2001, he kidnapped 3 young boys in Montana and sexually assaulted them over a period of several months. Duncan was convicted of sexual assault and kidnapping and sentenced to life in prison. He escaped in 2011 and was on the run for 2 years until he was finally caught. Duncan is considered extremely dangerous and should not be approached. He has a history of violence and is known to carry several weapons, including knives, guns, and explosives. If you see him, contact the FBI immediately. Number 1. James B. Kamea. James B. Kamea is the number 1 most wanted robber in the United States. He is wanted for a 1984 armored car robbery in which he and his accomplices made off with $3 million in cash. This was one of the largest armored car robberies in history. Comer was convicted in absentia and sentenced to 20 years in prison. However, he has never been seen since. The FBI believes that Comer is living in Mexico and is closely associated with the Mexican mafia. He is considered extremely dangerous and should not be approached. If you see him, contact the FBI immediately. That's all for today. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to share it with your friends and family. Thank you for watching.